Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about my gastric bypass and how that journey went. Let's start with why I got the gastric bypass in the first place. I decided to get a gastric bypass when I was 22, so it was 4 years ago. 4 years ago? No, I was 23. It was April of 2016. My son was about to be 1 year old. And I was almost hitting 300 pounds. I was like 292 pounds. So I started doing research on it and everything, and I decided to go ahead and do it. I would do exercise and things like that before, people start commenting. I did do exercise and I would try to lose weight, but I also have had always problems with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it would fluctuate my weight quite a bit. My hormones were all jacked up all over the place. And since I was a little girl, I was always an emotional eater as well. So that didn't really help. So I decided to go ahead and get a gastric bypass. You have to go to like a seminar, kind of like a big old, like a class. It's an educational class. It's about an hour. I think it's like about an hour or two. I don't really remember, but you have to go, you have to sign in so that the doctor that you pick to do your gastric bypass knows that you went. That's one of the requirements. Also, you have to go through, and this, of course, what I'm about to say depends on the type of medical insurance that you have. But they do make you go to an appointment with a psychologist. And they make you go to an appointment with a nutritionist as well, and an appointment with the doctor that you want to do your gastric bypass. I had my gastric bypass here in Santa Maria, California, with the doctor. Her name is Dr. McCloskey, and she's actually located by the hospital here. She was amazing. She was so awesome, very nice, very kind lady, she was very she knew what she was doing, of course. She has years and years of experience, so I have, nothing to say about that. I, at the time, had Medi-Cal. So for those of you that don't know, Medi-Cal does pay for gastric bypass 100%. You don't have to pay anything out of pocket, and they pay everything. They pay your appointments with the psychologist, the nutritionist. They pay for the actual surgery, for your stay at the hospital. They pay for your, the appointments you have to do, the follow-up appointments and things like that. They pay everything. So I think Medi-Cal, what qualifies you is you have to be at least 18 years old to be able to do a gastric bypass. And it's something with your BMI, I believe. Like your BMI has to be like 35 and more or something, or 40 and more. You have to be like morbidly obese, and it's gonna have to, so they have their requirements. You can obviously research that with your doctor. And yeah, like I said, Medi-Cal does it completely free. And it just, with all the other insurances, I'm not quite sure. It just varies. Some insurances pay 50% of it. Some insurances only help you pay a little bit, and some insurances don't cover it. So you definitely want to call your insurance provider and kind of ask them if that's covered. Or you can talk to the doctor. I'm pretty sure the doctor will look that up for you. My gastric bypass, when I went to go get it, I was pretty nervous. It was early in the morning. It was about 6 or 7 in the morning. I had to go, and they sleep you obviously completely. You're not awake for any of it. I remember going in and I went into this really, really cold room when they were going to do it, because they keep it really, really cold. And I just was looking up, and they were like, okay, well, we're going to put, the anesthesia or whatever inside your IV, don't fight it, just go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't remember anything after that, other than waking up in it's like a huge room, but there's there's like curtains, and they put you in the little space with the curtains shut. They put you there for about I think I was there for like about an hour till they actually moved me to my own room. They were very sweet. I actually got it done at the hospital since Dr. McCloskey works really close from there. She does surgeries there at the hospital. So they were very, very sweet. They put like these like sleeve kind of things on my legs, like pulsing sleeves, so that I wouldn't get like I wouldn't get a blood clot on my legs or anything like that. And my recovery was a little bit longer than most people. When I asked the doctor how long I was going to be in the hospital, she said 1 to 2 days, if that. I was there for almost a whole week. And that obviously depends on your body and on you, but I was there for almost a week because I could not retain any liquid. Like, I wasn't even retaining water. I would throw everything up. So they wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to dehydrate myself and that I was able to stabilize that. So I literally they would give me like tiny little cups of cold water, and I would have to like take little tiny baby sips. Like, when I say little tiny baby sips, I mean like if a freaking bird was drinking water. Like, it was bad. I just kept throwing everything up. Like, I couldn't hold anything down. But other than that, it was a little painful, like, because they give you like, they put like 5 or 6 incisions. I don't remember how many, but I mean, I have tiny little scars all over my stomach, but they do, I think, like 5 or 6, I don't remember. And they hurt, obviously, when you're like trying to get up from the bed or trying to get down, or, you know, so it does hurt. And some doctors put stitches, other doctors use that medical glue, and she actually used the medical glue on me. So nothing ever opened. I never had any problems with my incisions, so it was completely fine. So yeah, but it did hurt. It was very uncomfortable to sleep. I couldn't really sleep comfortably for like the first 3 weeks. I had to like kind of sitting down a little bit, and that was very uncomfortable. And sometimes I would push my limits, and I would actually try to like go to sleep good, and it was hard, especially because I was a stomach sleeper. I'm not anymore, oddly, but I was a stomach sleeper before. And it irked me. I could not find a comfortable place because I was used to sleeping on my stomach, and I couldn't, obviously. They don't leave like any drainage or anything like that. They're completely closed off. And the recovery is from 4 to 6 weeks, like completely recover. I think after 4 weeks, you can go back to work. I'm not sure though, so don't quote me on that. I wasn't working at the time, so I didn't really ask too much about that. Once you have the surgery, the eating, so you start off being able to just drink like liquids. This was 4 years ago, so I don't exactly remember like how many weeks or how many days you have to go with each section, because you will have to do sections into going back to solid food. You would have to do like levels. So I think the first to 2 weeks, you have to be on only liquids, but that includes Jello, I believe. Yeah, that includes Jello. So you can do like broth, Jello, things like that, super soft. Then the next section would be a little bit like starting with soups, things like that, like thicker stuff. I used to be a huge fan of like broccoli and cheddar soup when I started doing all of this. So I would constantly be like telling my mom if she can please go get some broccoli cheddar soup from Panera, sorry, not from Panda, what the heck, from Panera Bread, because I love their cheddar, their broccoli cheddar soup. But yeah, like, you just have to take it in segments. Obviously, everything that I'm saying right now, they are going to tell you, like, they're going to take you step by step. They'll give you, actually, they give me like this book where they tell you what you can eat, how many weeks after, things like that. After I started eating solid foods, I just noticed I would get full super, super quick. Like the first year after your surgery, it's really up to you, but the first year, it's really up to your body, I should say. But the first year I would get full super, super easily. Like I can probably eat a cheese stick and 2 slices of little thin salami and be completely full. Like if I just ate like a huge dinner, like that's how full you get. And that's how you lose the weight, obviously, because your stomach gets made into little. You can't really eat. And then your intestines, obviously, they cut it up and they sew it to your stomach a different way for your metabolism to be way quicker or faster. So yeah, like I couldn't really eat, or certain foods like hurt my stomach bad. Actually, up to this day, like if I eat like ice cream or very like sugary stuff, my stomach would be it would be burning. It would be so bad. Like it would get to the point where I would have to go throw up, and yet it would still sting, because you have to realize your metabolism is super fast. So I can eat like a taco, let's say, and then want to throw it up like 2 minutes later and nothing comes up anymore. Like that's how quick like your stomach, like everything is getting dissolved. So yeah, like for the first year I would get super full. There's things I wouldn't be able to eat, like hard things. Like sometimes when I would eat strawberries, I couldn't eat because like it would hurt, like it would get stuck on like this little tube, the little eating tube or whatever, the tube we have inside our bodies where the food goes down. It would get stuck because mine was so little. It was so tight. I actually had to go back like a month after surgery for them to try, for them to put something in my mouth. And it was kind of like a bubble or like a little thing where they blow it up inside there to stretch it out, because it was so painful, like to eat strawberries or anything. It was painful. So it was like a month. I'm not quite sure how, it was like a month or 2 after surgery when they did that thing. But they tell you that can happen. So you're already kind of prepared for it if it does. But yeah, so there's, like I said, like the sugars you can't eat because like you start feeling like nauseated, and the grease is the same way. If you eat too much grease, like, you know, even 2 years out of your surgery, like your stomach starts hurting. And I'm guessing, like I said, this depends on everybody's body because we're all different. So, but my stomach would hurt really bad. Like if I were to eat like really greasy food, I wouldn't be able to, till this day, I can't take down a burger. Like I can't take down a whole burger. I get full with like 3 bites into it, I think. So it just really depends. One thing that I hated the most, I think, when I got the surgery was drinking water. I didn't hate drinking water. I hated that I couldn't chug water when I was thirsty anymore. So it's like the same thing. You can't put too much into your stomach because it's so little now, and you have to be very careful. They tell you drink it, you know, sips. You have to sip. You know, for the first like 2 years, 2 to 3 years, actually, I just could sip drinks. And sometimes you'd be so thirsty and you would just have to sip. You know, sometimes when you're thirsty, you open the bottle of water and you just chug it. Yeah, I couldn't do that. So, people that have gastric bypass know what I'm talking about. You cannot chug water. Like now, 4 years out, I can chug water. Probably not like a whole water bottle, but probably half of it. Like I can take it down now without it like feeling uncomfortable. But if you were to do that before, like you're okay with it, you can even throw it up because like it just fills up too much where you're just throwing up. That's another thing that actually happens with food, okay? So I'll tell you, you get full fast, but you feel the same hunger as before. So that's where it gets a little tricky when you're eating, okay? So you get full really fast, but before I eat, like I feel the same hunger as I did when I was a fat girl, you know, which I kind of still am a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you know, you still feel that hunger. So when I would to sit down and eat, I would like eat fast. And that was like a huge mistake every single time because my food gets stuck because I'm eating it so fast. It would get stuck like to the point where it would be hurting, like if somebody inflated your chest. So I would have to run to the restroom and throw everything up. It was bad. It was really bad. Sorry, Lint. It was really, really bad. Like, so be careful with that. You know, your doctors even tell you like, hey, eat slowly, don't drink and eat at the same time. Eat in, like, you know, take a bite or two and then stop, and then take a bite or two and then stop. Give yourself minutes in between your bites. That way your body can, you know, have enough time to tell you when you're full. Well, I didn't freaking listen to that. And I went through hell lots of times because I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I would completely forget, and I would like just eat quick, and then my food would get stuck and I would have to go throw it up. And it wasn't that I was full, it's that my food would get so stuck in my chest that it would be hurting so much, so I had to throw it up. And so you guys have to really be careful with that. What else? The losing weight. It depends on everybody's body. And I'm gonna keep saying that because it's true. Not because I've had this experience means that your experience might be exactly the same. So it does depend on everybody's body. I did start losing weight quite fast. I think I got to my 100 pounds lost within a year, I believe. So like I said, it depends on everybody's body, but I was losing about 20, I think the first month I lost like 25 pounds on the first month after my surgery. So it's pretty quick. And you are definitely gonna have loose skin. That's another thing you have to be prepared for. You're definitely gonna have loose skin because you're losing weight so fast. Obviously try to do exercises and everything, but you're gonna have loose skin regardless of, you know, the exercise you do, even if it's a little, even if it's a lot. You have to get your mind around that. You know, there's things to fix it. Obviously, you can get plastic surgery, you know, the skin removed, things like that. So you can try to do all that. I haven't yet, but I have actually been talking to a plastic surgeon, and I'm thinking in a few months to get a body lift because I do have loose skin in my arms, in my stomach area, and my back, even between my legs. So, but I mean, you can play it off with, you know, depending what kind of clothes you get. You have to play around with that. What else? Regrets. Let's do that. Regrets. I do not regret the surgery whatsoever. And I'll tell you why. Apart from me losing weight, apart from it helping me lose weight and me feeling better about myself, it actually helped me grow. It helped me grow mentally and emotionally. It helped me grow. You see your life from a different perspective after you lose so much weight. Before, I didn't have confidence in myself. I would never keep jobs. I would just be like, oh, I'm tired of this job and leave it. Like, I just didn't have confidence. I didn't have ambitions. I wasn't happy. And for people that knew me, I think they can see that because I was very bitter. I was just a very bitter person. I always had attitude. I was just never happy, guys, because I wasn't happy with my body. I wasn't happy with how I looked. I wasn't happy with who I was. And this helped me a lot. You know, it helped me grow. It helped me become confident in who I was, not just, you know, as a person, but professionally. You know, I went after a, you know, good career, and I, you know, went after education and things like that. Like I just went after things I would never have gone after before, you know, and it also helps you see things a little differently in your life. This surgery definitely helps you change the way you treat others and change the way you let others treat you, definitely. I was in a really bad relationship at the time of this whole thing. It was actually a marriage. I was married to him. And he didn't treat me the best way, or he didn't treat me the way that I should have been treated, or anybody should be treated, you know? So I definitely decided to let that relationship go. I let go of that toxic relationship because I realized that I was letting him treat me that way because I didn't have confidence that I was going to ever be with anybody else. I said, hey, I'm fat and ugly, and hey, this guy likes me, so I'm going to stick with him, you know? And I had been with him since I was 19. And we had a son already. Sorry, I was with him since I was 16. We got married at 19. And then 3 years after that, we had a son, and everything just went downhill from there. You know, he's not a horrible person. He wasn't beating me or anything, but it was more like abusive mentally and emotionally. So I had to let that go. Like I said, you as a person deserve so much more than what people treat you like, especially because you have a low self-esteem sometimes when you don't look like you want to look. And you let people treat you certain ways that you shouldn't. And you yourself sometimes treat people bad because like I said, I remember like, I just always had a bad attitude. Like, it's not that I didn't love my friends or my family, but I was so unhappy with myself that I just wasn't happy. So I didn't have like a positive attitude about things. I didn't, you know, talk to people positive, like in a positive way. Like, I was just not always in a good mood. It was just really bad. It was just really bad. And it wasn't just that I was upset about the way I looked, but it was also other things that have happened to me as a kid, like being bullied, family members, you know, or friends or kids from school or whatever. So it just all was, you know, built up and not good. So I don't regret the surgery whatsoever. It helped me be who I really want to be now. You know, I'm a very different person than I used to be before my surgery. It's funny because until you go through this experience, or not even with just surgery, but losing a ton of weight, like with exercise or eating healthy, you will understand what I'm talking about when I say I look back at who I used to be and I don't even remember being that person. I don't remember that girl. I don't remember why she was so unhappy. I don't remember the immaturity that I had. I don't remember being her, you know? And I think to a certain extent, it's because you really aren't that person. You're not who you really want to be. You don't come out like bubbly and awesome sometimes because you're just bottled up in your own body because you hate it, you know? So like I said, I just don't remember her. Sometimes I don't even remember being that big. It's like, I can't believe, like I look at pictures and stuff like that. I didn't really like taking pictures, to be honest, but I will look at some pictures like that I do have, and I can't believe I let myself get that huge. I don't know when it happened. Like it was just over time, but I let myself get big and I stopped loving who I was. So I don't regret the surgery whatsoever. It helped me actually find myself and who I really was and who I really wanted to be. And it helped me get rid of people that I didn't need in my life. And it helped me get rid of my negative attitudes and ways of seeing life. Like now I see it so differently. Like before I would win probably like $16,000 a year in a part-time job. And now like my ambition is to actually have a huge career, and I don't see it far out. Like I think that if you really put your mind into certain things, you can reach them. Like if you say, hey, I want to be winning $20,000 a month, having my own business or being a career woman or whatever you want to say, you can, you know, even if people laugh at you or people are like, okay, whatever, like you really can. So don't ever give up on stuff like that. And like I said, you know, this really changed my perspective in life completely. Losing this much weight, it gave me so much confidence, you know. So this was 4 years ago, obviously. So the lowest weight that I ever got was 167 pounds, which I really liked. I really liked being around that. The doctor said that for my height, I am 5'6", I have to be at 150. So when I was at my lowest at 167, I was about 2 years out of the surgery, and me and my now husband decided to have a baby. So I got pregnant, and I was having a lot of trouble gaining weight during my pregnancy in the beginning. And it's something that, you know, the doctors will tell you if you're a woman, that if you are planning on getting pregnant after gastric bypass, it will be hard for you to gain weight while pregnant. So that's what was going on. I was actually still losing weight while I was pregnant, and I was losing a lot of weight. So the doctor kept telling me, hey, you have to gain weight. You have to try to eat more things that are going to help you gain weight because you need it for the baby. And I was feeling like complete crap. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like my daughter was sucking everything from me, like my vitamins, everything. I was getting so skinny, and I was feeling faint most of the time. I didn't want to get up. I was feeling so tired, so weak. I would get up and like, I would get really dizzy. Like, it was bad. And so I finally started gaining weight at like 6 months into my pregnancy. No, 7 months. At 7 months, I started gaining weight from my pregnancy. And it was because I was trying to eat more unhealthy food. And of course, I'm stupid because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know. But I was just eating very unhealthy food because I'm like, I need to gain weight somehow. Okay. And that's the way I know how to gain weight, by eating unhealthy food. So I kept it. I was eating unhealthy food, and I started gaining weight. Well, dumb me didn't think about the fact that I was going to end up with a habit. So I did. After I had my daughter, I had gained about, I want to say 15 to 20 pounds, but I kept eating like crap. I kept kept that habit of eating like complete crap. So I started gaining a lot of weight. My highest that I gained, that I went to, was actually in February. So 3 months ago, I was at 207 pounds. It was bad. 207 pounds, guys. Like, I gained 40 pounds from my lowest weight to 3 months ago. So when I weighed myself and it said 207 pounds, I think that was like an eye opener for me. I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I went through this whole process. I, went through a surgery to lose weight, to make myself feel good, to make myself healthy for my kids. And then I'm gaining it back because I can't stop my freaking mouth from eating stupid crap. So I was like, okay, no. I got to get back into it. So little by little, I like tried to do certain things. I'll tell you guys what I'm doing for weight loss right now in a moment. But right now, I am actually 191 pounds. So I've lost 16 pounds. Is it 16 pounds from the 207? From the 207 back in February, I am now 191 pounds. So my goal weight is 160. That's where I want to get. If I can get to 150, that's awesome. But my goal weight is 160. So I still have about 31 pounds to go. So what I'm doing now, and I just started yesterday doing, is the OMAD diet. So the OMAD is 1 meal a day, and I'm doing it keto style. So you fast for 23 hours, and you give yourself a 30 minute or 1 hour window to eat a day. So just 1 meal a day, but I'm doing it keto meal. So I researched this. Obviously, this is not for everybody. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a medical person, nothing like that. This is something I'm just doing for myself. I am going to take you guys with me on this journey. I will be doing journals every day to see how I'm losing weight. I will be weighing myself every week, once a week, but every day I'll make journals for a whole month. That way I can tell you guys how I'm feeling. Yesterday was my first day. Today's my second day. So I'll tell you guys in this video that I am feeling hungry, but nothing that I can't ignore. it's not like my stomach is hurting. And I think it's more so that we're just freaking used to like snacking and eating and you know, so my body's like, okay, you need to eat something, but it's not hurting my stomach or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna drink a lot of water. I'm gonna drink my tea and things like that. So that's what I'm doing right now. If you guys have any tips on OMAD diet, if you've done it, if you haven't done it, tell me your results. Did it help? What did you feel? Because I know that you guys feel like dizziness and weakness sometimes, even from keto, like getting the keto flu, things like that. So give me any advice that you guys can. And to finish this video up, I do want to say some negative stuff about the surgery, the gastric bypass. And that would only be that you have to drink vitamins for life. That's hard for me sometimes. Sometimes I forget, or I just have a busy life or whatnot. But you have to be on it, because when I first started, I was on it for like the first year. The second year, kind of like, and I started feeling very, very weak, super weak. Like, you start getting deficient in like vitamin B, vitamin D, and calcium, and a bunch of stuff. So you have to keep on with the vitamins, because you do not want to like something happen to you health-wise, you know, not a good thing, because you're not drinking the vitamins you're supposed to be drinking. So you have to drink those vitamins for life. Calcium is very important as well. And it's calcium citrate. You have to look for it. Calcium citrate. That's the one that gastric bypass patients should be drinking. Vitamin B12, vitamin D3, all these things you have to drink, because it is very important. Another thing is that you lose a lot of hair. It will grow back. Sorry, it's not permanent hair loss, but you do lose a lot of hair. I got bald spots and everything when I first did my my surgery. My hair thinned out quite a bit, but it did grow back. Like, I do have my hair back and stuff. It's not as full as it used to be, but it did grow back. I'm actually going to be trying rice water soon, so I'm going to be making a video for that too, for my hair. But anyway, yeah, you lose a lot of hair. So, you know, just try to drink biotin, try to keep up with your vitamins, your 1 a day vitamins. You can do that as well. Your doctor will definitely tell you what vitamins they suggest, you know. So, you know, I feel like I'm babbling because covering so much things, jumping from here to there. So if I missed anything, or if you have another question, or if you want to, you know, ask me anything, go ahead and comment down in the comment section below. You know, and I can try to answer anything that I can if it's in my experience. The reason I didn't go for a sleeve and I went straight to a gastric bypass was because sometimes there's a percentage of patients that do a sleeve that end up getting a gastric bypass. And I had a lot of weight to lose. Remember, I was almost 300 pounds. So the gastric bypass is the one that, you know, you get the most results in. That's why I was like, let's do it. Let's go directly to the gastric bypass. So that's why I decided to do that instead of a sleeve or a lap band. But yeah, so that is my gastric bypass story. I really don't have that much exciting stuff to say, other than you're going to have to buy new clothes and you're going to love it. So if you, like I said, if you guys have any other questions, or if I didn't cover anything because it didn't come to my mind at the moment, please go ahead and comment down in the section below, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.